Shannon, it's a tragedy that rocked the quiet town of Hughesford. A dog bit and killed a 7-year-old, and now neighbors tell me their hearts are going out to the family.
Have you ever wondered who lives just a few doors down from you?
Yeah, they sure did. They've been living next to each other for years, right here, 39 and 40, where the cars are. But deputies say they've also been feuding for years. They would block each other's driveways, turn on the sprinkler system so water would hit the other's property. But last night, one of the men ended this feud in a very violent way.
What if the friendly neighbor you exchange pleasantries with every day is hiding a dark, twisted secret?
This was the shocking moment caught on camera. Video obtained by our NBC affiliate KARE 11 shows David Matori trimming a tree outside his Minneapolis home Wednesday when, according to court documents, a bullet was fired from his neighbor's upstairs window.
The truth is, the people we trust with our daily lives can sometimes be the most dangerous. From innocent disputes to shocking betrayals, these terrifying true crime stories prove that the most unimaginable horrors are often committed by those closest to us. So, are you ready to uncover the chilling truth? Don't miss out on these spine-tingling tales. You'll never look at your neighbors the same way again. Keep watching, or you might find yourself asking, could the danger be closer than you think? What if the person living next door, the one you exchange pleasantries with every day, is hiding a dangerous secret? Neighbors, the very people you trust with your daily life, can sometimes turn into the most unexpected killers. From seemingly harmless disputes to twisted betrayals, these chilling tales of true crime will make you question just how well you know the people living next door. Sometimes the most dangerous people are the ones living just a few steps away. The killer next door. The Foster family's life seemed perfect, but their friendly neighbor, Carl, was hiding a dark side. For years, Carl had been a regular presence in their lives. He helped with small tasks, borrowed tools, and shared casual conversations over the fence. To everyone, Carl was just a nice neighbor, someone they could trust. But behind the facade of a friendly neighbor, Carl harbored a deep resentment that would eventually spiral into violence. The tragic events unfolded one evening when Carl snapped, brutally murdering the Fosters in a fit of rage. Shockingly, Carl had been holding onto his anger for years, but no one had suspected a thing. The community was left stunned. The killer they never saw coming had been the very person who lived just across the street, quietly plotting a gruesome act of violence. A dark betrayal. Rebecca and Sarah were more than just neighbors, they were friends. Their relationship seemed innocent, based on casual conversations over the fence, exchanging homemade dishes, and looking out for each other. But behind this seemingly wholesome friendship, Rebecca had a sinister plan. Over time, Sarah began to suffer from unexplained symptoms, and soon, Rebecca's husband showed similar signs. Doctors couldn't pinpoint the cause, but the truth was far darker. Rebecca had been poisoning both Sarah and her husband, using small doses of a slow-acting toxin. She watched them deteriorate without ever raising suspicion. The full extent of Rebecca's dark plan only became clear when Sarah tragically passed away. While the motive remains a mystery, whether jealousy, a personal vendetta, or a desire for control, Rebecca's shocking betrayal has left everyone wondering what kind of darkness can hide behind the mask of a best friend. The deadly hidden resentment. Thomas and Jack had been neighbors for years, and over time, they built a relationship based on trust and mutual respect. When Jack found himself homeless, Thomas, seeing him as a friend, offered him shelter. Jack moved in with Thomas and helped out around the house. But what seemed like an act of kindness took a dark turn. One evening, Thomas was found murdered in his own living room. Initially, it appeared to be a random act of violence, but investigations soon revealed the shocking truth. Jack, the very person Thomas had taken in, had been planning the murder for weeks. Though the cause of Jack's deep resentment toward Thomas remains unclear, it was evident that a relationship once built on trust was shattered by bitterness and betrayal. What was once a friendship turned into a horrifying betrayal, leaving the community in shock. Mark's deadly obsession. Mark was the quiet, reclusive neighbor that most people overlooked. He kept to himself, rarely interacted with anyone, and his house was often dark at night. Most neighbors didn't even know much about him beyond his name. But the Wright family, who lived next door, had no idea about the darkness festering behind his solitary exterior. Mark's obsession with the Wright family grew until one night, it turned deadly. Mark brutally murdered the family while they slept. The crime was horrific, and even more chilling was the discovery that Mark had been living with the bodies for weeks, continuing his usual routine while the family's bodies lay decomposing in the house. Later, it was uncovered that Mark's obsession with the Wright family had driven him to madness. His quiet exterior had hidden a deep, dark obsession that eventually exploded into violence, leaving the community horrified. From argument to murder, Jane and her neighbor, Mr. Thompson, had a relatively uneventful relationship until a simple property dispute turned deadly. Jane had made a few changes to her garden, planting new flowers and rearranging the landscape, which Mr. Thompson did not approve of. What seemed like a trivial issue escalated quickly as Mr. Thompson confronted Jane in an increasingly hostile manner. No one expected the situation to escalate beyond a few harsh words, but it did. In a fit of rage, Mr. Thompson attacked Jane, and what started as a disagreement over garden changes ended in a tragic death. The shocking nature of the crime was amplified by the fact that Mr. Thompson had been perceived as a mild-mannered, quiet man. His violent outburst revealed the dark side of a neighbor who had appeared harmless. This heartbreaking tragedy was a stark reminder of how small conflicts can spiral out of control, turning deadly in an instant. Samantha's deadly jealousy. Samantha and Kate had been best friends for years, sharing secrets and milestones. Their bond seemed unbreakable, but beneath the surface of their friendship, Samantha harbored a dark secret. She had secretly developed romantic feelings for Kate's partner, a desire she kept hidden, but that slowly consumed her. The pressure of these unrequited feelings, combined with jealousy and a sense of betrayal, eventually became too much for Samantha to control. One night, overwhelmed by emotion, she erupted into violence. In a fit of rage and jealousy, Samantha murdered Kate, shattering their once strong friendship. The crime left the entire neighborhood reeling. No one could have imagined that the seemingly loyal friend was capable of such a horrific act. This crime of passion, driven by love, envy, and resentment, left a lasting scar on everyone who thought they knew Samantha. The hidden dangers in our own neighborhoods. These stories serve as a chilling reminder that danger can sometimes come from the people we least expect, our own neighbors. What once seemed like harmless disputes, friendly exchanges, or even deep friendships turned into deadly betrayals, shocking murders, and chilling acts of violence. In these cases, the most unimaginable horrors were carried out by the people living just a few doors down. These unsettling true crime stories reveal how easily trust can be shattered and how the people we interact with daily may hide the darkest secrets. So never take for granted the people you see every day. Keep your guard up, because sometimes the real danger lurks closer than we think. As you reflect on these terrifying true crime stories, remember this: the most shocking acts of violence often come from the people we least expect, the ones we trust, the ones we interact with daily. It's a chilling reminder that sometimes the real danger is lurking just a few steps away. The horrors of betrayal, obsession, and cold-blooded murder have been unveiled right before your eyes. But this is just the beginning. In our next video, we dive even deeper into the twisted world of the most dangerous minds ever known. Get ready to step inside the mind of the most dangerous serial killer to ever terrorize the world. What drives someone to commit such horrifying acts? What twisted psychology lurks behind their actions? You won't want to miss it. This chilling journey into the mind of a monster will leave you questioning everything you thought you knew about evil. Hit that notification bell so you won't miss a single spine-tingling second of our next gripping true crime tale. Stay tuned, because the story gets darker from here.